Hey, this is Notser, and today we're taking a look at the ZF-6. This is the premium Tier 9 German destroyer, and it is available through the Dockyard event, which has gone live as of 10.3 and will stay on the main server for a couple patches while people unlock the ship itself. If you're not familiar with Dockyard, you have to invest, I think, like 2,000 or 3,000 doubloons, and then the rest can be grinding in the game, and you can get yourself your own Tier 9. With a lot of effort, of course, but it's worth it. This is the best Dockyard ship they have ever put in the game, and I don't even think it's close. I love this ship. I'm going to talk about my build, my impression on the ship itself, the gameplay, everything that could be helpful towards you in deciding if you want to pursue this as well. So for the commander build, main armament protection, steering and propulsion protection, torpedo protection, a lot of protection. We have faster rudder shift, concealment, better rate of fire. For the commander, incoming fire alert, last stand, survivability expert, concealment, radiolocation, adrenaline rush, preventative maintenance, and main battery / AA. This is a mirror image of my 52 commander module build, and I love that. I'm also using Gunther Luchens, and he's an awesome commander for German DDs. He's my 52 commander. Rest in peace, German battleship commander. Oh, the secondaries. Regardless, let's talk about ZF-6 and what you can expect from the ship. So it has all of the 128 traits that you expect from the 52 and the 46 with regard to AP damage, HE penetration, HE damage, all these different things. It doesn't get the improved AP pin angles as the 150mm alternative line, but what it does get, it gets main battery reload. Main battery reload, coupled with the AP, you can do a lot of damage in a short amount of time to cruisers, battleships, even DDs if you can place it just right. It's really effective. And on top of main battery, it also gets defensive AA, which, you know, is useful for self-defense. And we're going to try and fight off this guy and angle as best as we can. We did capture B point, and the concealment is fantastic. This is kind of like the best of everything. It has 5.8 kilometer detection with my build. It has 8 kilometer range torpedoes, which are really fast torpedoes. Think French DD torpedoes. It has, obviously, main battery reload, speed boost, and then that defensive AA. It can't equip Hydro, though. Hydro, of course, is a great German DD skill. It's what wargaming justifies for the weakness of Germans. But I can tell you the ZF-6 is not weak at all. Not in the slightest. This game is going to showcase it. I really enjoy the camouflage. Some people think this is an ugly ship. You know, it looks utilitarian. And you know what? That's what it feels like, because it has a lot of cool tools. And I think that that's a great experience for anyone in a DD, is having the tools to solve whatever problem you happen to run across. Is a battleship bearing down on you? Is he trying to rush you? Well, you've got really great torpedoes, which can stop that very quickly. Is there, you know, a broadside cruiser or a broadside DD? Well, you got main battery reload. You can use it with HE, you can use it with AP. It really does have a lot of useful tools for pretty much every scenario. Now, we're headed out towards A point, and there was a DD in this area, and conveniently, the friendly spots him. Now, he's within detection, so I know that if I round this corner, I will easily go at him and keep him spotted, but he could obviously use smoke. There is no hydro, so I can't do the smoke hydro counterplay. If he wants to, smoke will absolutely shut down this initial play, but we round the corner and we've got HE loaded, just knowing that he's going to not have much side, showing there's no point in trying to make AP work. But as you can see, HE does pretty well. Main battery reload makes everything do pretty well. The reload is pretty fast, honestly, on this ship. And obviously it shows. We did about 7k damage to that DD. He had to use his smoke and disengage. Now I want to disengage as a counter. The enemy Nagato is keeping me spotted. So once we move outside of the Nagato's / my gun range, it should bloom back down, and then we can pursue. Unfortunately, we lose the Colorado, and we are all alone on this flank. This game reaffirmed, well, this game solidified my view that the ZF-6 is the best Dockyard ship in the game. And you will definitely see exactly what I'm talking about. The torpedoes are outstanding. It makes me hopeful that at some point there will be a German DD line with sort of short-range, high-speed torpedoes, because these are outstanding. They are just right. You get about 2 kilometers of dead zone between your detection and the torpedoes, which is easily manageable. Plus, if there's a enemy battleship or a cruiser that's bearing down on you, you get a little bit of extra range. It's a win-win. It really does feel like a win-win on this ship. There's not really a vulnerability. You know, giving up hydro for that brawling, it's not that big of a deal for me, because there's a lot of ships in the game that don't get to use that, and they have to solve the problem in different ways. So you just approach this kind of like you're a French German. You've got main battery reload and really fast torpedoes that are short range. So you have to get close to the target, relatively. But that's not unheard of. And you have plenty of concealment to do it comfortably. This enemy California was approaching. I am sending torpedoes knowing that he wants to approach this area. Friendly Georgia taking fire from everyone. And I decided, you know what, if I don't do anything else, he will not survive. So we're going to take advantage of our smoke and the broadside. Once we've got into this broadside, we can easily, very easily, fire AP on cooldown, located on the superstructure up high. Now, I could decide I want to fire with main battery reload. That's always an option. But as you can see, the base reload of the ship is actually pretty effective in its own way. You don't necessarily need to use main battery to feel like your shells are doing, you know, significant damage over time. Not saying that you never do it. It's just, obviously, you only have a finite amount of resources, and you have to decide which resources go where. Obviously, this Iowa fully broadside, and we are using the German smoke. It is a short duration relative. It's not, obviously, British smoke, but it's not going to be a American or Pan-Asian where you're there forever. But we're doing great damage. You know, locating that just right, you can do like 3K on a broadside. 3K every 4 seconds, the target's going to die quickly. Very quickly. Unfortunately, though, smoke is going away, and we won't really have a way of countering once smoke is gone. So I decide, okay, let's have an audible. Let's use these torpedoes. Notser, I hear the torpedoes are pretty good. Yeah, they're pretty good. And they work really well against the exact same target that the AP shells work against. A broadside battleship trying to push forward. He's attempting to try and kill the friendly Georgia, and I'm attempting to stop it. And it does look like we're going to get plenty of torpedoes on this guy. 1, 2, 3. 3 is enough to kill him. We don't even need the second set. And that felt pretty good to defend him in that way. The friendly Georgia, he got away. Now we're going to move forward, and I'm going to see what I can find. Can the California or the Nagato, where's that enemy DD? You know, he has to be somewhere. So the ZF-6, AP, just fine. It does a little bit less, like, microscopic. I think 50 less AP damage than the 52. HE has the same vulnerabilities as all the other HE shells on the main line for the Germans. It's got good pin, but it doesn't have good damage. I really enjoy it. I really like the experience. Now, one thing that I will highlight as a downside, the torpedoes sound excellent, AP, main battery, a lack of hydro, and the turret traverse. The turret traverse is a little sluggish for its tier. It's not unreasonable. It's definitely within the tier reason. It's like having a tier 8 or a tier 7 as far as turret traverse experience and feel. But if you just go into the scenario knowing that this is what you have to deal with, you can easily compensate for that. That's not a big deal. The AA with defensive is pretty effective at defending itself. I honestly love defensive for the initial attack on a DD, and I think it works great for that. It does only have 3 charges, and that is something that, you know, maybe you decide to take the superintendent equivalent skill and get extra charges. There are a lot of skills. This is bordering on, you know, destroyer leader class as far as the amount, and it's up to you. I personally don't need all of the charges, and we get some good torp damage on the Nagato. He's doing everything that he shouldn't do, obviously. He's trying to contest without having knowledge of my location, and that's causing all these torpedoes to easily hit him, which you can't say the same for the 150mm alternative line. It's a really big pain. Those torpedoes are sea mines. You would be lucky to hit them in any game. Can't say the same for these. These are very fast and effective, and I think most people prefer that in their torpedo systems. So I don't think there's going to be any disappointment with torpedoes. There shouldn't be any disappointment with the guns. Honestly, I am having a really tough time finding disappointment in the ZF-6. Probably the only thing that's disappointing about it is the nature of its availability. It's only going to be in the dockyard for the foreseeable future, and we don't know how long we will have that as the only means to obtain. And for how effective it is, I don't think it'll be resold in the future, just based on how effective it is. You know, maybe they make a tweak if they don't, or maybe they just see it as fine. Maybe I just got lucky and, you know, the situation just was perfect for me. I don't know. I've played a lot of ZF-6 at this point, and I don't think it's luck. I think the ship is just really good for players who are comfortable playing German DDs, because the torpedo systems are an upgrade, quite frankly, because they're just so much easier to hit. The concealment's excellent, and main battery reload is outstanding on a broadside. And speaking of broadside, we've got a Musashi. So you want to locate your AP at the top of the hull / superstructure. That's really where you want it to go in. It's the best way to guarantee consistent damage, and as you can plainly see, we ended up doing quite a lot of damage in a short amount of time. Not enough to kill, of course, but it's contributing positively, and my team should absolutely have a much easier time dealing with the Musashi. And on top of all of this, of course, I am using Gunther, so the main battery reload loader is going to proc as well. This ends up feeling excellent. This is the other aspect of this that I really want to highlight. Since it's a premium, you can easily move your legendary commander in it without affecting any other ship, and it layers very nicely with everything it wants to do. It's got great concealment. It's got excellent gun reload between main battery reload and the base reload. So it really does shine with Gunther, and because it's a 9 premium, it's not going to be hard for that to be the case. And this Musashi, I mean, we've basically farmed this guy in the time that the smoke existed. It felt excellent, absolutely excellent. Now the aircraft carrier doesn't like that we're doing this, and I don't like him, so we're going to go after him. There is a Kitakaze in the area, and he is low health, and I don't think that this is going to be hard to land. We actually kept AP loaded, and we just fired at this guy, hoping that the first salvo would be accurate. Unfortunately, it isn't. He, of course, returns fire. We angle in, avoid the shots. Excellent maneuverability. You know, it's not... This is like the Fletcher versus the Gearing. It has all of the Tier 9 advantages that the Fletcher has over the Gearing, as far as the size of the ship, the maneuverability. The guns are at a disadvantage, but it's not a disadvantage that would negate all the other advantages. And we held off a flank by ourselves, basically. We saved the Georgia, and we're killing ships left and right. Like, if I can't express to you how powerful this ends up feeling, like, I don't know if this game is going to do that. And we're chain firing high explosive, which is supposed to be very weak. And we dodged that torpedo really nicely. A is great. You know, getting more damage. I'm actually trying to get into torpedo range before the game ends, and I'm desperately trying to kill this guy. You know, we're doing a good job. It's just, there's just not enough time for this to happen. But man, the ZF-6, absolutely the best Dockyard ship in the game. Between all the other Dockyard ships, this is the one. Excellent game in the ZF-6, and hopefully you guys enjoyed seeing it. Man, we did work. 2 kills, 165,000 damage done, 2 bases captured. If you enjoyed the video, please like it. If you disliked it, dislike it. If you would like to subscribe to my channel, we do World of Warship videos. My North American recruit invite is on the screen. You can take advantage of that. 2300 base XP, nice. We stream at twitch.tv/Notser. If you'd like to see more of this live, you can check that out. Thanks again. I hope you all have a wonderful day.